to this new snowy video. I think it's been a while since you saw the MRS last time, and there hasn't been much MRS content through the time in Japan, obviously. But yeah, now I wanted to give you an update on how the MRS stands. Obviously it's dirty right now because it's really snowy out, and yeah, but I wanted to show you some of the aspects that I did, how the car is sitting right now, and yeah, let's jump right into it. Delivery is still on, I still dig it, and I added, which I still need to address again, but I added this little like front lip. It's in these corners it's screwed down, but the glue like gave up a little bit, so yeah, I need to reattach it with some new glue sometime, but for now it's good, like, because it's like a rubber lip. It's all I could get here in Germany legally, and yeah, then here we have the Valino toe strap, which I bought at D1 GP in Japan. And yeah, so much about front, not much happened here. I will do a video about installing the TRD Sportivo shocks and like the roll bars, the stabilizers. What's the correct word in English? I'm not sure. Yeah, these, because it's a whole new suspension setup. I've got my 30mm H&R lowering springs, but now with the new TRD Sportivo shocks and the stabilizers, which give the car a really balanced and great ride. So I'm really happy with them. I'll also drop a track video soon, and yeah, it felt really great. For everyone who can get their hands on one of these sets for cheap, or if you're in the country where it's not really allowed with the modifications like in Germany, the shock is basically the same body, but the inside, the valving is different, and so it's improved there. And obviously I have those all around. Got the hardtop on for the winter, and I got the wing on, or I left the wing on. Normally in the winter I always took the wing off, but for now I just put the rain shield back in, which I normally leave out for cooling purposes. And yeah, let's go to the inside, because that's where some things have changed. If we come in here, you can see I installed my Autometer old school tachometer, the ref counter. It's like a 80s 90s product which I found in Japan. It's funny, an American brand, bought in Japan at Up Garage, and I think I'll put in some pictures. I installed this that I didn't need to modify the stock cluster much. I printed a little spacer part which holds this in. It just clips in or slides in, and this part is then attached to the rear bezel by zip ties, and it holds really well. It's like not going anywhere, and I didn't need to take out the factory like tachometer. It's like still behind there, and it's moving, and it's had all the room it needs. But this is just on top, because I'm always going the route of, if I'm modifying something, I want to be able to like reverse it if I don't like it most of the time. So the only thing I needed to do is this glass, which is in front of the gauges. I need to cut it here and take the middle part out. The outer parts still have like 4 plastic clips which hold them in, so it's fine to take the middle part out. And then that no dust or debris gets onto the stock tack, I built this like 2-in-1. It's the dust cover for this stock tack, and at the same time the mounting location for this one. And then it was just on to like studying the wiring diagrams of the MRS and finding the right cables. They were all back here, so I didn't need to wire anything back to the wait, let me close the door. Whoa. I didn't need to wire anything back to the ECU or to the coils or anything like that. And yeah, it works well. It's hanging behind a little bit, behind the actual revs, because of the length of the signal that doesn't really match up. So maybe there would be a better way to address that. But for me, it was mainly for, I don't know, nostalgia, for looks, for a fun project, because I'm still working on these kind of electronic projects and learning about them. And yeah, next electronics project, I installed the CamCon. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's like a cam and air fuel controller. So you wire it in between the ECU, which sits behind the driver's seat, if you have a left-and-drive car. Yeah, it basically takes the signals which go to the ECU, manipulates them, and sends them back. So the ECU thinks it's doing whatever it's doing, but the signals get changed because this one changes them in between. And what you can do is, obviously you have your rev light here. Wait, let me turn on the ignition, then you can see. There it is. And you have your revs here. Then you have these modes here. I don't know if you can see it. It says RPM, AFC, and cam. And with that, you can, for each range of RPM, you can set the cam angle plus and minus 20% of the stock setting. So if the stock setting says, I don't know, at 5000 RPM, the cam is advanced or retarded by 5 degrees, whatever. And you set it at, like, let's say it's stock is retarded by 5. And then you advance it by 10. Then it's in general advanced by 5. So you always change it depending on the stock setting. And I, for now, installed or programmed the like recommended profile for the stock engine, because apart from some intake mods and a different muffler and gutted precats, my engine's fairly stock, so I went with that and it worked pretty well. I think I can feel a difference. I really want to go to the dyno and find out if it actually makes a difference. I don't know if I can manage to do that this year, but we'll see. And yeah, the same you can do with the air fuel. You can change the air fuel. Oh wait, no, you can change the cam by plus minus 20 degrees and change the air fuel plus minus 20%. So in the stock setting, I think the maximum is like +3, around 3000 RPM, and then -1 or 2 near the rev limit. Yeah, if you need any of the documentation for the CamCon, it's nowadays really hard to find. I managed to find some, so if you are looking for that, just message me and I'll send it out to you. Here in the corner I have a little display which is connected to my Arduino, which sits there, and this is supposed to display a intake temperatures, but it's not 100% working yet. So I'm working on that. I have the Blitz shifter, and obviously my old display which is connected to the Raspberry, which is currently just displaying some like acceleration numbers, like XYZ, but can display whatever I want. I always planned to add some sensors, but I never really came to do it. That's why I started with these intake temps. And yeah, forged carbon self-made shifter cover, which is still one of my favorite parts of the car. And I've recently also started printing new like plastic versions with some new structures, which look really cool. So if you're interested in a shifter cover like that, also hit me up or click the link in the description. I'm selling these, not in the carbon version, but in the plastic version. And yeah, I think that's all from the inside. Got the Spirit sticker, of course. Yeah, the seats and the rest of the interior, except for these fake roll bars that were in the car when I bought it, it's fairly stock. I had some like different fabric on the doors, but I took it off because it faded through the sunlight. So yeah, that's the interior. I have the little head-up display up there. It's just one of the like Amazon one, but it works really cool. And I've got the oil and the vacuum gauges, and I think that's for everything for the interior. So if we come around and look here, we obviously have the CSR automotive wing, and engine wise, the engine, also for any new viewers who might be seeing this, is fairly stock. So it's like stock block, stock everything. I recently painted the valve cover to make it look a bit more pretty. I want to paint the heat shield as well, but I'm still really want to have a real like downpipe, or like, how do you call it, headers. And so the rest of the intake pipe is pretty stock. I deleted this little tube and just printed a little plug for that. And then I have the K&N like just air filter, and then my custom intake, which goes into the fender pipe, which is a modified plastic pipe here, because the stock one reduces in the diameter around in this area, and it especially like changes the intake sound, and I feel like it could also be beneficial for performance to open up that. So I printed a new one of those, and then I connected the intake pipe to new like aluminium flex pipe, which goes all the way up here. I'm not sure if it's visible in the video. Maybe. Let me check. Yeah, up there in the top, or like in the middle top, you can see it. Comes all the way up to here, and yeah, in general, these two parts together improve the intake sound tremendously. So yeah, these files, if you need any of these files to print that yourself, they're also available on my website, as well as the files for this cover, because I lost one of those, or I melted it on my exhaust, to be completely honest. But yeah, engine, not much going on. I have a Fox muffler, stock cat pipe, as you can see here, all nice and dirty. TRD Sportivo badge, which is pretty cool. You can actually buy all these kind of badges for your car in Japan, like in Autobacks or stores like that. Brand new. They do charge quite a price, but yeah, was worth for me, so that's why I got that. Got the pre-cats, and one thing that I also have are these gas struts that I installed. I actually got these from a seller at AliExpress, but I have to say I'm still super happy with them. They work great, they don't cost much, easy to install, need some slight modification to the hardware, but apart from that they work amazingly. Yeah, I guess it's everything. I'm currently working on new side vents. Some of you might have seen my video on the like classic style side vents, which go like this, which are glued around the factory one, like on the metal part, on the metal fender. I don't run these anymore because of like strict regulations here in Germany, but I'm actually developing a new version of these. I'll put in a picture, which completely replace the factory ones and just add on, like here, add a tiny scoop which goes like maybe a few centimeters out to direct a little bit more air into the vent, and they're supposed to replace these. So you take these out, put the new one in. I also redesigned it not to use these annoying clips, because I always pull apart my whole car when I try to take the vent out. So these will be screwed in the front and clipped in the back, so it should be way easier to remove, but these still need some development, so these are not out yet. But that's what I'm working on. I also got a new antenna because in like a few years ago I broke my old one, like the one that goes all the way up here, and now I got a new one. I just need to install it. And yeah, talking about that, obviously the car is on steel wheels for the winter right now, but I still have the nice white Keskin ones. And in general, I think I might have put in some clips as well of the car, because I delayed this video a lot because I didn't have much time lately. But yeah, that's also what I wanted to talk about in general, what the future of this car is. Because the funny thing is, 1.5 years ago I filmed a similar video exactly there, and now we're standing on the other side. But yeah, last time it was before I wanted to go to Japan for my student exchange, and now it's because I'm going to Japan to work. So there won't be much MRS content for some time, but there will be exciting new car content coming soon, as soon as I arrive and get everything sorted, like with apartment and everything. And yeah, you can look forward to that if you're interested in that. If you're only interested in MRS stuff, I hope you are a bit patient, because this car won't go. I will keep it, I won't sell it, and if it works out, it will follow me to Japan. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I hope you're also excited, or as excited as I am, for some new car stuff, because as you know, this is my only and first car, so that's all I've worked on, and all I've learned with, all I've driven with on the track, snow, everywhere. So yeah, will be quite an adventure. I hope you will be excited for that as well. And let's try to turn around because the wind is strong. Oh, let's go sit down in the car. I think that's more convenient. Yeah, as you can guess, it's pretty cold out, so I went inside to finish off the video. Yeah, because I think different things are coming for the channel, and maybe it will still be some time in between the uploads, because right now I'm doing all the preparation for Japan. But if everything works out, I've got a car like ready in Japan. It needs a lot of work. I hope, I don't want to spoil anything. I thought about like giving some hints what it could be, but I don't want to do that because it's not safe that it works. So I don't want to give any wrong like hints. But I think it will be exciting. I will miss the MRS until I can drive it again. But for now, we'll stay here. We'll be driven a little bit, and who knows when it will be able to follow me. At least that's my plan for now. Yeah, some people might see it would be cheaper to sell it and buy an MRS in Japan, but I'm really attached to this thing. As I told you before, that's like all I've ever driven and worked on, and I really grew attached to it. So yeah, we'll see. But I think that's the update for now. I think I also put in some clips when it was still warm outside and I had the other wheels on. Because as I said, I delayed this video quite a bit because of missing time and other stuff going on, but I still hope you enjoyed. I still hope you're not disappointed that there are not many videos lately. I think I will try to get some out. I still have like a lot of old footage which I've just not had the time to edit, so we'll see. I have some track day videos and all the videos of the modifications of the dampers, the TRD dampers, the TRD sway bars. Sway bars is the word that I searched before. Yeah, the TRD and Cusco sway bar, because front is the TRD Sportivo sway bar and the rear is the adjustable Cusco one. And for the CamCon, I also made a video on how to wire in the CamCon. Also to that, if you have a CamCon and you can help me, I still have this issue where the car sometimes needs 2, 3, if it's really bad, even 5 tries to start. If it starts once, it drives perfectly fine, it has all the power, all what it's supposed to have. But sometimes I have some weird starting issues ever since I installed it, and I can't quite work it out. We went ahead and measured all the frequencies through the signals. Like, the signals all look fine, but somehow I can't work out why it's not working. The only like, first I tried like turning on the ignition for a long time before starting it and all that. Nothing really seemed to be like a consistent reproducible problem. The only thing, or the only idea that I have right now is that it's made for a JDM ECU, obviously. And one thing I noticed when I installed the JDM ECU in my car just for testing was that the car didn't rev as high when you start the car. Like, the warm-up procedure was not really there with the JDM ECU, so maybe there's some fueling or some ignition differences between the two ECUs in the startup. Once the car starts, it works perfectly, so that's also why I don't really care. But yeah, that's if you have an idea, I'm happy for any suggestions and ideas. And yeah, I'm looking around if I can see anything else that changed in the car, but yeah, I guess I covered everything in this video. If you have any questions or comments, I'm happy to discuss everything about the car and about whatever. I really enjoy all that. So with that, I would say thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video as well. Bye bye!